Hello everyone. I've got a piece on the board today. That's a piece I did quite a while ago. It was really fun, bright colours, and I thought, oh, this would be a great one for cheering us all up at this time where a lot of people, stuck at home potentially for the next however many weeks. So you're going to need a few things to do. Take your mind off things. What better than painting? And this can be done so quickly. There's a bit of skill involved, but anyone can sort of do it. And a pen, watercolour paper, watercolour paint, a pen, and off you go. I'm just going to take this off here so that I can start. And a lot of people in my classes get unsure of how to take these off. So I get a palette knife, I find the little groove there, get the palette knife in, go all the way around, and then ta-da, fresh piece of paper underneath. So they're really great, these blocks. I love this one, the cotton from Winsor & Newton, really good paper. Right, move this one out of the way. Fresh piece of paper with a few marks on from the palette knife. That's what you get for not using a clean palette knife. Pop that up there. I'm drawing with permanent water and fade proof pigment ink. I've got 3 because you never know, it might run out while I'm mid-demo. So I'm drawing in. I'm going to start with the rose. Quite often I would draw after I've painted, but in the purposes of doing the video, I don't want you hanging around while it's wet at the end. So basically just curves. Think about curves, blocks, tighter in the middle, bigger as it comes out to the side. We're not looking for, accuracy of botanical standards. It's just a nice rendition, nice flow of line, basic, simple shapes. Areas can be left because you know that they're going to be blocks of colour, and I do have that nice white flower there, so I'm going to make sure that I go around that, because that's going to stay white paper. Maybe like a daisy or something. We've got this little flower at the top, a few leaves. Anything goes really, be completely free with it. That's the beauty of working in this style. It doesn't really matter if you make a mistake. You just carry on drawing, because the freedom of it will just allow anything to go over the top of anything. So I've got an orange flower over here. A lot of that is done in paint, so I don't necessarily need to draw it, but I'll just have a little suggestion of a few sort of dropping over the side there. A few squiggles. It's all about variety as well, so you're getting different pressure with your pen, different marks, scribbles, lines, and then I'm fitting the vase in after. Because I always find you end up trying to put the flowers in the vase and it can look a bit static. So I like to feel that I can manipulate where the vase is going to be, or the jug or whatever, after I've actually drawn everything else. Nice curve at the bottom. Again, use a few lines, it doesn't matter how many you do. It's this nice free style. There we go. So we'll pop the pen down. I'm actually using majority Daniel Smith paints. I love the pigments in them. I think they're really nice, vibrant colours. I'm just looking for a slightly smaller brush. And I'm using the Raphael imitation squirrel. So no squirrel has died in the making of these brushes. Grab this, I don't quite know how to pronounce it, Pyrrole Scarlet. There's always alternatives in your Winsor and Newton or whatever. Your Scarlet Lake perhaps would be a good one. And I'm just gonna go straight in. Nice bold colours. Use the whole brush stroke. Really full of paint. Bit of water. Dabble it around. And then while I've got the colour on the brush, oh, where else can that appear? A bit there, I'll have a bit in there, I'll have a bit down there. And maybe there's some that appears in the green. And a few splatters, why not? And then rinse that out. I'm picking up the yellow. Which yellow am I using? I can't remember, I've actually put it away, that's no good, is it? I'll have a look in a minute. And I'm connecting in where this is already wet. Get a nice diffusion and create a secondary colour in amongst it. These are quite vibrant at the minute because I've gone with quite thick paint, so if I water it down, get some background shades that are a bit more subtle, that's going to play off nicely. I'm gonna go with a pink, what is it? Oh, it's actually Winsor & Newton Quinacridone Magenta that I'm using for this. Gorgeous colour. I'll go a little bit more watery at first. Think about lovely fluid marks that you can make, like dancing the brush around. Don't be too precious with it. Then bigger, bolder shapes for the outer petals. And I'll reduce that even more with water, so it's really faint at the top. And where else can I use the pink while it's on my brush? Well, I'll have a bit in here. I'll have some over here, some over here, some splatters. Already it's nice and cheerful, gorgeous colours, makes you feel much better and so free to do. Right, let's have some blues. I've got ultramarine, lovely colour on its own, but let's pop a little bit in there, so I'm using the brush and kind of flicking. And then I'll mix some of that magenta in with it, maybe just for one of the flowers, so it changes it, makes it slightly different to the other one. A little bit down there, a few bits in there. I just love dancing the brush around, it's so much fun. Let's have a bit in there, maybe a darker shade to frame that flower. If you think about how a vase of flowers would work, naturally it would probably look denser in the middle where all the stems were connected together. And it adds interest in your work when you've got tonal contrasts. Again, I can't help myself with the splatters, can I? I just have to do them. I don't think I've ever done a painting without putting splatters in. Oh, that's probably a lie, but it feels like that. Right, I reckon that's pretty much it for the colours, the bright colours, and I'm going to go in with the greens. I'm going to change brush though. I'm going to use the Terry Harrison Golden Sword into the water. I love these because you can get such beautiful lines as well as petal shapes, but my main thing is you can fill it up with two colours. So if I mix a sort of darker green, I've got Perylene green, and I'm going to fill the whole brush as much as I can with this darker green. But then I'm going to dip the end of the brush just into the yellow. Hope this works now. So when I apply the brush, you get a two-tone effect. You obviously have to keep reapplying the paint. Maybe a few little bits in here. I feel like I want to turn the page around, but I won't. It'll mess my camera up. Let's have some swirly bits. Some nice leaves down there. Oh, just look how nice those lines are with this. And it's full of paint as well. So, you know, it's really easy, it glides, you don't have to drag it. It's such a lovely experience, a great brush to work with. I'm sure other sword brushes are available. Getting into my zone now, not thinking too much about the camera being on. This Perylene green, I'm going to start overlaying a bit in here. That's where again your tonal variations will come in to play. Perylene green, bit of ultra, leave a white space there. Nice. I'm framing that flower just enough, but obviously I don't want to go all the way around because it would look too solid then. But I do want some greens in here as well. Again, just dancing the brush, keeping it light and loose and free. Just going wherever my eye takes me, I suppose. I'm not overthinking it too much. Right, let's have a bit more yellow in there. And need something in that space. Might go with an orange for that. So I'm going to mix the yellow and that lovely Pyrrole Scarlet together. Maybe a bit more yellow than that. You can see on the palette what beautiful pigments they are, really strong colours, they're just gorgeous. Yeah, that's it. A little bit in the centre there. And the rose is probably starting to dry now, enough for me to shape some of the darker tones on the top. Just making sure that brush is washed out enough. Back to that lovely pink quinacridone magenta. I have actually got rhodonite genuine out there as well, so some of that will probably creep in. I'm going to just pick that up with a bit of tissue. She says she has not got tissue. Well, I'll do it. Oh yeah, I have. Found some. As is the nature of this way of painting, but that's alright. It's part of the process. Right, let's put some lines in through here. Like little curves that are gonna create a sort of knitted bit in the middle. There's lovely sweeping shapes. Oh, I love that. Right, jug. I'm going to keep it really pale, so I'm going to drop a bit of water. There's already a touch of colour in the brush, which is absolutely fine. Good job. And then it's just the teeniest, tiniest amount of colour just streaked down. Hopefully that's translating enough in the camera. I don't want to overpower it because obviously the flowers are so vibrant that if you were to put too much into the jug it would just take over, wouldn't it? A little bit in the handle. Darken it up slightly. The inside there, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to go over with a bit more drawing, probably best to wait for it to dry, and I've noticed that I've made a real lucky error there by putting the rose smack bang in the middle, but hey ho, I've done it now. Good chance to have a go at doing another one, I guess. So I'll just make that a bit stronger there. Maybe add a few more flourishes. Go around the top of that. And you can see there where the paint's still wet, the pigment goes darker in the pen, but that's alright. That could be to my advantage on a few bits. Do I need a shadow? Yeah, I'll have a bit of a shadow at the bottom. Done. So have a play, get lots of delicious colours out on your palette, things that really inspire you, and just go for it. It doesn't matter what the end result is really, if you're having fun, that's the main thing. So have a go, and I'd love to see the results. You know, if you send me some emails of your pictures, that would be fantastic. Okay, see you soon. Bye.